Hey guys, it's Maury, and I'm here today for the pinkcamera.com with a 12 by 12 scrapbooking process, and I'm going to be using some mixed media in my process today for a Mixed Media Monday. I'm taking my silicone 2-inch Prima mixed media brush, and I'm just applying some opaque gesso, some Liquitex gesso to the cardstock, and I am going to let that dry. And while I'm letting that dry, I'm going to work on the photo mat layers for the layout that I'm going to be working on today. So I'm using the Life is Beautiful collection from Fancy Pants, and I really love this collection. It's super pretty, and the paper that I'm using here behind the first layer, or for the first layer, is just a black dot, and I really like that. The color palette that I'm using for this layout is inspired from that collection, and it's all pinks and blue greens, and I'm going to use some of this wood grain as well. I think this wood grain is my favorite paper from the collection. It's gorgeous. So much of the supplies that I'm using here come from a collection pack, and that collection pack contains a bunch of the papers and stickers and that sort of thing. Now I'm going to take some Liquitex Basics paint, and I'm going to use that acrylic paint to create the background here. So I'm just taking a plastic card, and I'm just, putting the paint down there. I'm using the edge of the card to create some lines. I've done this lots in my art journal, and it's a fun way to apply your acrylic paint. I knew that I wanted to create an area in the center of the paper, and so I'm going to focus my mixed media in that area, and then I'll create the rest of the layering and that sort of thing once this paint is dry. So I started using this green paint, and I realized partway through, I thought that it matched the paper that I want to use as the frame around this white cardstock, but once I put that paper up against it, I'm like, I think it's just a little bit too green. So I wanted to tame that green down a little bit by adding a little bit of white paint and a little bit of blue paint. So you'll see me kind of doing a little bit of paint mixing here and trying to create kind of a different color here I can use. So I'm just mixing it with the end of the paintbrush, the wooden end, not the bristle end. This is not the best way to mix paint, by the way. I was too lazy to get my palette knife out and some palette paper and do it properly. Always trying to do things quickly. So I just put some of that over top, and I like that a lot better. I think the color's better, and I like the green color. It just didn't quite match up with the color of blue-green that's in the paper that I want to use. So I'm just going to dry that up quickly here. Sorry I didn't chop that piece of the video out, but this just does show you that acrylic paint dries really quickly. That's one of the nice things about using acrylic paints in your scrapbooking process, because it does not take long to dry. So I am going to create some splatters here with kind of some light pink. I'm really trying to dilute it. You can see there was a nice big gob of chunky white paint that got down there, and that's okay. I just scooped that up. You don't want to leave too many chunks of white paint or any other kind of acrylic paint color on here, because it takes it a really long time to dry if you have it on there very, very thickly. So the best way to do it is to kind of layer it a little bit and make sure that your layers are thin. So I'm just adding those little droplets on there, trying to get a little bit of splattering going on. So once I've achieved that, I am now going to take some super heavy Liquitex gesso, and I'm just going to take my palette knife. I'm going to just put that down all over everything. You're probably wondering what the heck I'm doing. I'm just going to mute that a little bit, and I'm going to take just some pieces of patterned tissue paper. I think these are from Tim Holtz. You can pick those up at Michael's for sure, probably lots of other places, but that's where I got mine. And also you can just stick that down with your brayer, and you can see how it just really sticks nicely there to that. So I really love how that looks, and that's a really great base for my photograph now. So you can see how that's much softer and I do really like the looks of that. So now I'm just taking the ephemera bits and pieces from that collection, and I'm going to just show you there that one, that branding strip just shows you the name of it. I think it's called Cactus Bloom or something like that. And I'm going to use my corner rounder to round the corners just to finish it off, make it look a little bit more finished. I am going to use a ton of my tape runner here because I really want those warps to be gone once I flatten this out. So I'll just stretch it out really well by pressing on it, and you can see that that's much better. So now I'm going to take those layers of papers and I'm going to put my photo mat together. I'm going to staple them all together once I have them kind of where I want them, and then I'll stick my photograph down to the layers. And printed my photo in black and white. As you can see here, it's about a 3.5 by 3.5 square. And I'm just going to distress the edges of those photo layers a little bit so that they just pop up there a little bit. They're not so flat. And I'm actually going to pop that up with some foam tape as well, just to bring it up a little bit more and add a little more dimension to the layout in that way. This is just a really great example of how easy it is to add some interest to your white cardstock with some products. It doesn't have to be paint, but acrylic paint happens to be one of my favorite ways to add mixed media to my layouts. Really love that, and just because it's so versatile, you can water it down, you can apply it thick or thin, whatever you want. Just remember that the drying time will be a bit of an issue if you get it on there thickly, but as long as you've primed your paper with some gesso, you should be good to go, and you can pretty much put anything on your paper and it will be okay. It will not destroy the paper. So just going to keep adding some embellishments from that collection. And once again, these are all from the Fancy Pants Life is Beautiful collection, which really is a gorgeous collection. I love it. Love all the little bits and pieces to it. So this is going to be about it. Once I'm done layering, I'm going to add some splatters in gold, and I'm going to use some black ink to put some splatters on there. Then I'm going to take a Heidi Swat puffy sticker word. The word is in black, and it's happy is the word that I'm going to use here. I'm just stamping that little ephemera piece that I'm going to stick up at the top there above the photograph. And I just stamped the word happy on there, and that's going to be, like I said, the title for the layout. I haven't done any journaling on the on camera, but I will add some journaling to this layout later. Sometimes I like to do my journaling off camera just because sometimes I like to put personal sentiments and messages on my layouts, and I don't always want to publish those. So that is it, guys. I am almost done here. So hop on over to the pinkcamera.com and check out all of the great products that Lisa has in the shop, and you can check out the blog post as well. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye-bye.